Hello, wildlings. I'm your Creepsmith, and you found my Fear Forge. Lucky you. Tonight's tale, Clever, by Provider92. It was dark, dreary. The rain clouds had moved on, but water still dripped from the rooftops and the skyscrapers. They fell and fell and fell. Hypnotizing. That's dangerous in a city where it's already so easy to be caught off guard. The hooded man approached me in the middle of the night as I was walking home from a business meeting that had run late. He said the words that tear at the soul, a question with infinite answers, but always a constant result. I'll grant you one wish. I laughed to myself. Crazy person or not, I knew how these stories always went. You make a wish, it's granted in a horrifying way, and then the wisher dies. Simple as that. I had read The Monkey's Paw. I'd seen Wishmaster. I would not be so carelessly stupid. I thought myself clever when I made my wish, so innocuous that any play on it would be downright foolish. I wish for $1. Had it been a crazy person, even they could have granted this wish, but it turns out it was no crazy person. I watched as the hooded man raised his hands in front of him, cupping around empty air, and slowly pulled a single dollar into reality as though out of a black hole. It gingerly floated down into my cupped hands. I looked at the bill, incredulous, and when I looked up, the man was gone. Back home, I could do nothing but stare at the bill, unsure if I had truly seen what I thought I had. How could he have done that? But was he really a genie of some sort? Was this bill even real, or was I just dreaming? I was sure I wasn't, but these weren't the questions that bothered me the most. The thought that racked my brain endlessly was, did I just waste a legitimate supernatural wish on a single dollar? I had figured if the man was some kind of genie, I'd been brought up by horror stories to believe in, that he would have created some sort of hell for me in this wish. I figured the dollar would create minimal suffering at best, but I hadn't honestly expected the wish to come true anyway. I thought that I was just humoring a crazy man. But nothing had happened. The supernatural being granted me my wish and simply disappeared. I could have had anything. Anything! I could have wished for billions instead of a single dollar. I could have wished for power, to be superhuman. I could have wished for fucking world peace. But instead, I had $1. $1. I didn't sleep that night. Hell, I didn't sleep for the next week. How could I? Every missed opportunity, every embarrassing moment in my past, anything I wanted to change in my life just zipped through my mind, one after another. Every little annoyance echoed endlessly in my head. The woman in the cubicle next to me who kept smacking her gum. I could have wished her mouth shut. The guy who kept bringing his work problems to me because he couldn't do them right, but still got paid more than I did. I could have wished him to be fired. My boss, who did absolutely nothing but shit on me day in and day out, I could have wished him dead and had myself put in his place. So Saturday, I went into work. The only person in our office who works Saturdays is my boss. That dumb shit who never really worked. You see, instead, he went in to bang his secretary in empty offices while his wife, back home with the 2 kids, believed that he was at work making a better life for them. She would have thanked me. The stapler on my desk would do the trick. I caught the secretary coming out of the office. Back end of the stapler gashed right into her temple. She was out cold. My boss, still buttoning his pants up, tried the old trick of yelling at me, telling me I was fired, to get me to stop advancing on him. But I could see the fear in his eyes. He couldn't even work his zipper right. I pushed him onto the desk, grabbed the fountain pen out of its holder, and stabbed him in both of his eyes. This time, not so quick as a bash to the head. As he writhed on the desk, I took my rightful seat in the chair that always should have been mine. This is what my wish should have been, I thought. This was the happiest that I'd been all week. It could have been the happiest I've ever been as far as I can remember. Someone must have heard the screaming on one of the lower floors. We were at the top of 16 stories. Maybe it was someone else's boss screwing a secretary as well, who heard us. Someone who didn't have the guts to murder for a better job. Whoever it was, I knew they heard us because I could hear the faint sound of sirens outside the building, on the streets below. They probably wouldn't let me keep this job after what I had done. I climbed the stairs to the roof of the building, dragging the still twitching body of that useless primate I used to call boss. When I got to the top, I found out I was right. Cop cars littered the street. One of those is what I aimed for when I tossed the body headfirst off the building, and I hit one, dead on. A cop car is always where I thought that guy belonged anyway. I heard the SWAT team bust the door open leading to the roof. Had a few seconds left, so I pulled out the $1 out of my pocket. My one wish. My one clever fucking wish. I tore it in half and jumped before the SWAT team could grab me. Spending life in a cell would only create more problems that I couldn't wish away. As I fell toward the pavement below, I looked down. And in the midst of the police, no one seemed to notice a hooded man with glowing red eyes standing directly below me, arms wide, as though he were about to catch me out of the air. My last thought, before I showered the ground with my brains and my guts, my only clear thought in the entire past week, was that the devil was far more clever than I. So stay scary, wildlings. Go big or go home, and make the most of your nights.